Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Urban Libertarian here, and happy pre-4th of July. And yeah, I saw this article and thought this was 4th of July related, so I had to comment on it. And it just goes to show you how this whole story is manufactured. It has to be. And whenever you look at things and read things, I mean, at least I do, I look at it as my eyes, like an investigative eye. It doesn't make any sense. So you're telling me that Nike makes these shoes with the Betsy Ross flag on them, produces them in Vietnam or China, by the way, and then their spokesperson Kaepernick, all of a sudden, after they're already on the shelves, right, and then he goes, "Oh, it's racist. Pull them," and then they get pulled. I don't know. Sounds like a publicity stunt. That's something that nobody's really talking about. So I'm just gonna call it right there. It doesn't even make any sense, but it's a made up story. It's complete bull. So, and especially this headline. So let's go over these. And before I even get into it, because I know people don't pay attention, apparently Obama and Biden, they're racist because this was the Betsy Ross flags and all the other flags of the country, which is the founding flag of our country. Okay, yeah, maybe there was people had slaves at the time, but it doesn't represent slavery. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It represents the country, and it's not a political thing. There they are. Look at these two, right? Look at these racists right here. Wow, these Klan members here. Yeah, they're conspiring. What a joke. Nobody had it, when Obama and Biden had their little in cages, children in cages. Nobody complained. Nobody said anything when they were going over the Middle East and bombing the shit out of those countries, causing instability and supporting bad people over there. Nobody had a problem with it when they were conspiring with their KKK Nazi shit at the inauguration with their racist flags in the background. Nobody said anything. Yeah. What a joke. All right, let's go over this. The 13-star flag, which was America's first, wow, America's the first racist flag of America, is said to have been designed by Philadelphia seamstress Betsy Ross, and now they just shit all over Betsy Ross. Yeah, shit all over a woman, right? That's like totally okay nowadays. So that you're not supposed to do that. This article here, which I may go over, I don't know. They just shit all over Betsy Ross and just make it sound like it's a folklore, which I mean it may be, but yeah. In recent years, the flags, like a number of early American symbols, have been co-opted by opposition groups to illustrate their ties to America before the federal government was established. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. What does that even mean? I mean, and I don't even think this. You watch and look at what the historians have said, and they say it's bullshit. That tie, though, according to multiple experts, is not necessarily the one that Nike should have thought to sidestep. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. An apparent attempt, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. The 13-star flag, which is America's first, is said to have been designed by Philadelphia seamstress Betsy Ross, though historians note that lore was propagated by her grandson and never confirmed. Kind of like George Washington cherry tree. That's what the other Yahoo article points to. And okay, whatever. Well, I don't even know what that has to do with it, but okay. Well, Ross lived during slavery. Like, that's the only thing that was going on at the time, right? Just, okay. Her flag's relationship to white supremacy was not immediately clear to a number of historians contacted by CNBC. Now, that is some fucking newspeak right there. What does that even mean? Think of it logically what that would mean. Was not immediately clear. So which meant when these CNBC journalists contacted some historians and they said, hey, what do you know about Betsy's flag and her relationships to white supremacists back in the day? They're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's not immediately clear because there's no connection. So just because, and I don't even think, so historically has no connection to fucking slavery, white supremacy, okay? First of all. Second of all, they're going to claim that, these white supremacist groups, they latch on and they use these symbols like the Pepe the Frog and shit, right? But that's just it's not even true. Like, it's not a big problem, and it just because like one person or something. I mean, you could always point to how many millions of people do we have in this country. It doesn't mean that that's like it's an epidemic and a lot of people are doing something. So some one person, and it could be even fake. So one person does something, and all of a sudden it's like it's a symbol of hate and all this bullshit. So it's a country. It's the first flag of the United States. What are you talking about? So, the political leanings of Ross are unknown, but Philadelphia, with its large Quaker population, oh, those racists, had neutral leanings during the Revolutionary War. So they're like, look, dude, we're not getting involved. We're religious people. Fuck, we're not getting involved. That doesn't seem that bad. Are the Swiss bad people? In recent years, the flag, like a number of early American symbols, has been co-opted by groups to hearken. Oh, like, you know what they want to do? To hearken back to a picture of America before a large federal government, centralized federal government, was established. Well, that fucking sounds good to me. Jesus, who wants a large federal government? What are you talking about? Like, that's racist to not want a big government? One of the most famous examples is the Tea Party's use of the Gadsden rattlesnake flag. That is a phrase, don't tread on me. What's wrong with that? And so that's not racist or anything. That's the symbol of America, and that's saying that they're defying a tyrannical government. And that was a good thing throughout all of our history, and then all of a sudden it's not a good thing because the tyrannical government says it's bad. It's probably mainly a matter of these groups' attempts to appropriate and fetishize the American Revolution for their own ugly and historically inaccurate purposes, said Scott P. Marler, associate professor of history at University of Memphis, in an email. Like, he knows what they want to do. That tie, Corey, is not necessarily one that Nike should have thought to sidestep. If all these historians didn't know, and here we go, if all these historians didn't know the relationship between white supremacy and the Betsy Ross flag, then Nike shouldn't be expected to know it, because there really is no relationship. It's just some dude, some social justice person on the Twitter nets, right, says something. Oh, I saw the flag at some event, and they supported, they were nationalists. Well, you don't have to be a racist to be a nationalist. Because you like your country, tomorrow, 4th of July, we should all be nationalists. Does that mean that every fucking American's a racist? Well, I guess, hey, if you're listening to me, you're a racist. Congratulations, no matter what your color, your ethnicity, your background, your status, you're a racist. Because you celebrate America. I mean, it's insane. It's insane, and they're losing. You look at the comments, I don't see anybody celebrating this going, oh yeah, this is a great decision. The Betsy Ross flag is not part of a database maintained by the Anti-Defamation League. Okay, they go on and on. It's not used, okay? And then, so then they use some example. Here's some random example. And look, it doesn't even prove anything here. Look, still the flag caused controversy in 2016. Students at a majority white high school. So that means that they're racist. Oh, they're racist. They're majority white, which is the fucking demographics of the United States, except here in Los Angeles and other parts of the countries, that's not the demographic. Jesus Christ, right? So they waved the star flag at a football game in which several black students were playing on the other team. Oh, and they had Make America Great Again flags in support of Donald Trump. Well, you know what that means? I mean, where's the controversy? Because people had their First Amendment rights, and there's nothing hatred and nothing. Okay, here we go. They waved a flag during the football game, a flag which has no connections into any of these databases, and no historians can say, oh, it's a racist flag. And some black kids were playing on the other team at a football game, and they had MAGA hats? Oh, fuck me. What a joke. The head of the NAACP's local chapter at the time said Ross's flag had been co-opted by exclusionary movements, including the so-called Patriot Movement. The Patriot Movement, yes, that racist. What's so racist about that? And other militia groups. I don't know what is the Patriot Movement? What is that? That's just an idea? What are you talking about? Where are these? What does that mean? Because people are patriots, they're racist? Again, you're conflating two separate things. So far, I see no evidence of racism here. I just see people loving their country. What's wrong with that? Right? Oh, they're responding to America's increasingly diversity with opposition and racial supremacy. Dude, America, people new to this country, you are welcome to be a patriot. You are welcome to love America. It's not about race. Nobody's talking about race, but these people, this NAACP guy, it's just they're projecting their own weird racism. It's bizarre. There's nothing. The decision, halt the shoes. Which of these shoes are made in Vietnam or China? I mean, that should be something that should be talked about. Well, Nike decision was intended to avoid offense. Who are you offending? Right. So again, it was used for the Obama inauguration. I didn't see anybody complaining. You go back in the Wayback Machine. I bet you're not going to see anybody complaining about it. Right? So anyway, it's stupid. I don't think it's real. You know, and they talk about like how the flag started and everything, and they're trading down a bit. And then this next article talks about, you know, we're getting into it and how it started. And it's very similar. You know, this one guy, and it uses the same thing. These students, this one incident, they waved the flag. Ku Klux Klan. Oh. He said the association, the Anti-Defamation League, it's weak compared to other symbols. Dude. I mean, you can't be a country that hates itself. You can't be a country that doesn't love the founding of itself. Like, you can't focus on all of the negative stuff. Like, yeah, okay, you could say, just like they say, a time of slavery. Yeah, it was also a time of great innovation. It was also a time of like where men would plow fucking fields and do lawyer shit and do inventions. I'm talking about like Benjamin Franklin and stuff like that. I mean, these guys were amazing. And the ladies were amazing. Everybody was amazing. Okay, not everybody was amazing, but you know what I'm getting at. Like, they did some amazing stuff considering what they had at the time. You know, there was no internet. You know, these guys, like, they live hard-ass lives, you know? I don't know. And it's something that should be celebrated. No one's perfect, but, I mean, they did make some amazing stuff. So this is just a joke.